Hello there everyone, this is I Am Mark III and welcome back to the giant stompy robot simulator that is Mechwarrior Online. And welcome to a very familiar sight. Yes, the most recent video featured this guy and he is back. It is the Annihilator ANH-MB variant. Ooh, I think this might actually be a first. Same mech featured 2 videos in a row, same configuration even, but since this is a separate video I will of course go over the mech in the mech lab really quickly so that we're all clear on what's in it, and then we can get on to fighting stuff because, well, I don't know, it feels like it's a bit out of order for me to do it this way, but hey, we're here, so here we go. Right, let's do this. This Annihilator features an endo steel chassis, standard armor plating, and double heatsinks for its upgrades. It is powered by a standard 300 grade engine, giving it an awesome full speed of 48.6 kilometers per hour. Yes, it is armed with 2 weapon systems. The primary weapon system is a quartet of MRM-30 missile launchers, and each launcher feeds off 1.5 tons of ammunition, giving them a total of 15 salvos each. There's also a spare ton in the middle, which I forgot about, which is right there, which gives it an extra 2.5 salvos each. Gotta be specific. Right. The backup weapon system is a pair of ER medium lasers mounted in the center line, one in the head and one in the center torso. That gives this mech the ability to play as a zombie mech, by which I mean it has the ability to keep on walking and, more importantly, keep on fighting when the left and right torsos have both been destroyed. A rare trait in most mechs, but possible because of this mech's standard engine and centerline weapon hardpoints. Lastly, to try and keep this mech's heat under control, and they sometimes even work in that role, we have a quartet of double heat sinks. One in each arm, which is probably going to get blown off first, and another 2 mounted in the central engine. And that is the loadout. Oh, that voice felt straining, but it's like, I must do an announcer voice to run through this quickly. Well, I covered everything in that, so yeah, the design kind of speaks for itself a little bit. Its point is to bring many, many, many high explosive presents to all the good little boys and girls that play this game. Preferably in an extremely violent and high velocity fashion. Yes. And then the lasers are there just to act as laser pointers, a distraction, or just to give me something extra to do before I get killed. This is an Annihilator. It's slow. It's big. It's going to attract a lot of enemy power because they love to destroy anything that remotely resembles this particular mech. Because it's a nasty one if it gets into weapon range. Don't worry though, I'm going to explain why this particular mech is being featured again in such a close time once we get into the first match, as my ramble, because this is actually in response to a viewer comment. So, yeah, the viewer in question probably already guessed that, but I'll cover it for everyone else as soon as we get in there. Roll on match number 1.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Fleet command coming in. Capture the target area and engage any hostiles.
Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This particular map is Canyon Network. The game mode is Domination. I am actually completely sure of that because I checked before we loaded in. Also, I can't get up that hill. Go, Annihilator! Make the earth tremble with your power. Honestly, this thing can't climb up a hill to save his life. Okay, right. Now that we're actually in, let us begin. I said my ramble would be why this particular mech is being featured again, and this is, of course, a comment from Epic00, where he basically explained why I was having such a hard time with this mech in the previous weekend's video. That's helpful. Oh, jeez, back up. There's too many mechs here. What it boiled down to this. What's it? Words. Oh, I was doing so well too. What it boils down to is this. Basically, I was playing against the strengths of the mech. I was engaging at medium range mostly, And with so many missiles packed in, he said I should be treating this more like the mech equivalent of a rocket shotgun, which is actually pretty darn accurate. Also, given the weapon's spread and the spraying fire of it, I should also be focusing on larger targets rather than small. In my defense, I was actually focusing mostly on larger targets in the previous video as well, but
Is that enemy assault at Alpha isolated?
unfortunately I kept getting
Go take 'em.
caught out, so I was mostly engaging heavy mechs.
Target
Not...
acquired.
Oop. Jeez. Yes.
New target acquired.
I should probably, try to do something. That was the wrong control. I meant to fire my lasers, not the missiles. Oh well, missiles for everyone. That's what I'm here for. But yes. And here I am picking on a light as I'm talking about how this mech is, in Epic's opinion and in my agreement, meant to go against large targets to give it the best chance of hitting possible with its weapon's payload. Yes. Of course, there is another fault
Shoot stupid ass
in
in
this,
the head,
which...
shot me in the head instead.
Yep, he's down. There is another fault which Epic didn't mention, which I think I should, because it is partially validating for what is going on, and that's the fact that this is an Annihilator. This mech can't get out of its own way, much less anyone else's. If it's not in the right place, it gets outflanked rapidly. It is too slow to reposition with any degree of efficiency, and so often the enemy has the choice of weapon range rather than you, unless you're hiding behind a corner or something. Yeah, I'm going to move up here now, actually.
New
Airstrike,
target
guys.
acquired.
I'm going to move towards this Atlas because that is the perfect target. This is... He said this is more of a support mech. This is true. It's very good at weakening enemy armor. Yep, that Atlas was not happy with that. Oh, was he using that arm? What a shame. I took out his Ghost Rifle as well. But yes, this mech just can't get out of its own way. It can't reposition, it can't field control. It's got to pick its points, move to place, and then cause all sorts of trouble. Oh yes, hello.
Target destroyed.
And I'm trying to tag that Osiris, but it's such a small and mobile target, my missile sprays are mostly missing.
Warning, incoming missile.
And that is again the problem. It's not really built to deal with small targets. Ah, good. My teammate is building up here. My team is building up here. If I can keep around here... Ooh, missed. Then I can potentially do some good.
New target
Ooh,
acquired.
ow. Oh look, he's got MRMs as well. Hello, fellow MRM user. Let me show you my wares, and we will revel in the use of many, many missiles. Haha. Ow. And this is what I meant about this mech absorbing so much incoming fire. They love to shoot at me.
New target acquired.
Okay, he's out of the picture right now.
New
Let's go ahead
target
and try to
acquired.
tag this guy. Note he's outside my decent range for hitting,
Critical.
but
Target destroyed.
I was just not in any position to try and catch
New
up with him.
target acquired.
And that's the problem, isn't it? I think the most ironic thing in what Epic had to say in terms of feedback on this mech is the fact that I should be playing it as more of an assault mech. Sorry, not an assault mech, a support mech.
Also
That's the
critical
word.
Damage.
Dear.
MRM destroyed.
No! My precious MRMs. How
Target
dare you, good
destroyed.
sir. Get out of my way, please. Yes, eat that. And once again, most of my Star Wars are missing. But yes, it's more of a support mech because it lacks much in terms of pinpoint precision damage.
Critical.
Oh, there we go. I blew out a leg. Okay, he's
Target
dead.
Destroyed.
Right. I helped.
Happy to hear of your
Ooh.
success and achievements on the surface.
But yeah, so that's really how I should be playing it. It's like, this is more of a defensive mech than an offensive one because its sheer speed, or rather lack thereof, means it can't reposition and follow an assault line. It's got to pick its point and defend that hallowed ground against all who would defile it. That's pretty much what this mech's better at. As you can see, because after that mental switch, because Epic reminded me basically that I like to play supporting mechs and how to try to use this massive number of missiles, I actually did better than I did in the previous video as well. 8 kill assists, no outright kills because, lack of pinpoint damage, but 3 kills, most damage dealt. 462 damage dealt. I was absolutely smacking them around with high explosives. And that is what this mech can do. Anyway, let's see if I can repeat that performance. Roll on match number 2.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
This is command. Eliminate all enemies, no matter the cost.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to match number 2. The map is Frozen City, a familiar one because this actually featured in the previous video with this loadout as well, so we can see if we can do slightly differently here. The game mode is Skirmish, so, you know, blow up anything that tries to get in our way, and many things that happen to be on our team as well. Though, of course, people will shout at you if you do that too much. Now then, there is one more point left to address before I start to give you my revised feedback on this particular design, and that is the fact that I was splashing light mechs with my lasers. I reread the comment from Epic once again. Oh, hello, tiny little night star. Get out of my way. I'm an Annihilator. I have right of way, not you.
Target acquired.
Or something like that. I don't know. The fact that the Annihilator is so much bigger is just such a ridiculous thing sometimes. But yes, that was the last part of the comment. I've more or less touched on everything else that Epic pointed out, including the fact that I'm primarily a support player and I was not actually playing support in a support-oriented mech. Which is one heck of a foul up if you ask me, but there you go. Right. The fact that I was aiming at light mechs with my lasers, Epic voiced the opinion, quite accurately, that I should focus my lasers on heavier mechs as well as my missiles, because on a light mech base I'd just be splashing across them, that kind of thing. Unfortunately, I must refer you back to my previous comment, which is the Annihilator can't get out of his own way, much less anything else's way, especially incoming fire. Also, I've made a horrible mistake. I must turn around immediately because I am out on the front line and thoroughly exposed. This is a bad place for an Annihilator to be. Let's go back to cowering behind this ice formation. Most of the team seems to be gathering here, so the enemy is probably going to have to try and get an angle on us. Yes. Now, as mentioned in the previous video, I was engaging a light mech with my lasers, with my missiles as well, but that was basically down to target opportunity at the time. And ultimately, the lasers are much more reliable for hitting these lighter and smaller targets than the missiles are.
New target.
Unless you're someone that can actually aim. Not me. Oh, this is actually kind of bad. They have an overhill advantage. The Annihilator is not very good at fighting over a hill because of its really tall profile. This could get very painful very quickly, actually. Especially since they have the cover advantage in the city. And seriously, why are we over here?
New target acquired.
Enemy Shadowhawk over that way. Yes. So if there's a light target and I can potentially drive them away or damage them, then I should take the chance to do so. I have quite a few missiles available, and the lasers are just flat out better at making the enemy stop and think a little bit. So, you know, it's working with what you've got where you've got it. The Annihilator, as I mentioned in the previous video as well, just doesn't have the luxury of repositioning easily to better, more advantageous terrain. Also, we're in a very bad place still because we're basically fighting around this hillside and the enemy's got almost total cover advantage here, so that's going to be a problem. Anyway, enough about that, enough waffling on. I seem to have rambled for quite a bit here. Now, my thoughts on the mech, based on my new and improved understanding TM. No, that is not trademark, by the way, I'm just trying to be sarcastic. My new and improved understanding is that I am completely not a dunce because I just stepped out in front of basically the enemy assault lance with no cover. And I lost a fair bit of armor doing so. Yes, I told you the Annihilator attracts a lot of enemy fire. Now, played with the proper mindset, unlike last time when I was trying to play flat-out assault, then this mech can be a very useful one to have. There we go, I just peppered that Daiichi, and I'm backing up again. because I do not want to be attracting return fire. Yep, I managed to get back without taking additional damage, but I inflicted some, so that is good. And the mindset is you are a support style mech, so stick with your allies. You are not going to be knocking things out reliably by yourself. Your damage is just too spread out. Your goal is to weaken the enemy rather than actually get the kills. That's fine. But you're also a brawler hybrid, which is where I kind of disagree a little bit with what Epic was saying, because Epic said, I am a support mech purely. That is generally the playstyle required for this mech, but I also have to stay on the front lines. I am a support brawler hybrid. At least that's how I see it. No, I can't angle up high enough to hit that guy. Oh. You are spared my wrath, little mech. For now. For now. Maybe I could be of some use over here, though. Oh, hello. Yes, I saw you there and punished you for standing there, Mr. King Crab. I took away most of the side armor. Yeah. They're taking advantage of my high profile and the fact they're well above me. So I'll join my two fellow Annihilators over here, just trying to hold this corner. Yes. Yep, that bushwhacker is making life difficult for us. But yes, it's a brawler hybrid because it's better the closer you get, and it's still a 100-ton mech with massive, massive amounts of armor. So it really shouldn't be hanging back in second line fire support. Hello, Supernova. Oh, and I got a kill. I just pummeled it down with massive numbers of explosions, the way it should be. Good, good, good. We're doing this. Aha! And another kill. Good. Annihilators unite! Drive out the infidels.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this Annihilator Lance is actually a very dangerous thing to try and cope with. And we're pushing up hard where the enemy tried to round us up. We are now in the lead, so let us do this.
Target acquired.
Oh, but yes, I would definitely say a brawler / support hybrid. You need allies to deal the pinpoint damage, but you can make the enemy greatly regret their life choices that brought them to this point. Yes, it's just the sheer lack of pinpoint damage. Pleasure walking with you all. Good game. There we go.
Team Annihilators.
Team Annihilators conquer all.
Not all the time.
Oh.
I love this game.
2 killing blows, 4 kill assists, about as much damage as last time. Yep, once again a solid performance, sticking with my fellow assaults and just bringing the pain to the enemy. Brawler assault for the win. All supports Team Annihilator, because they are the gods of this world. Unless you outrange them, in which case they are sitting ducks and will get blown to pieces. But yes, if we've got enough terrain advantage, we can just hold the ground and push anything back. Oh yes. And with that, I have to say that this particular build, I was not sure last time, but this build is locked in. I will be keeping this build as the permanent one for this particular hero mech. This has been IronMark3. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show, and I will catch you all some other time, as the screen goes black and starts loading. I will see you all later. And as a final note, there is actually a Discord. If you wish to join this small community, or just talk with some fellow gamers in a friendly setting which is only slightly insane, you can find a link down in the description of the video. See you all later.